Are you ready to uncover the chilling echoes of war? Brace yourself as we delve into the ghosts of war. We'll be exploring eerie tales of spectral soldiers, haunted battlegrounds, and the lingering spirits of those who once marched into battle. Hold on to your courage as we're about to pull back the veil of the supernatural, where the past refuses to stay buried, and the echoes of war continue to resonate. Remember, in this realm, fear is your only companion. Welcome to Terrifying Tales, a channel where darkness and imagination collide, bringing spine-tingling stories to life. Join us as we journey into the realm of the unknown, where every whisper carries a shiver and every tale will haunt your dreams. If you dare to be thrilled, subscribe now and let the chilling adventures begin. This narrative rewinds to a time steeped in the history of 1775, at the height of the bloody American Revolutionary War. The tale unearths ghosts from the musty volumes of a forgotten era, a period defined by raw terror, daring acts, and unparalleled heroism. As we view it from the safety of our contemporary shield, this era seems unimaginably distant from our everyday life. Yet its bone-chilling reverberations continue to echo through the maze-like corridors of history, like a faint, ghostly lament. The story revolves around an ethereal drummer boy, his presence on the battlefield only discernible by the soft drumming that punctuates the graveyard stillness of the night, a mournful rhythm echoing from an epoch consumed by history. It's said the drumming emitted a sound not from our realm, strikingly distinct from the steady rhythmic pulse of a terrestrial drum. It was an eerie beat, a phantom vibration that cut through the icy silence of the war-torn plains. This rhythm was more than just audible. It was deeply felt, resonating within the very core of one's being, stirring up unsettling feelings of doom and impending disaster. The drumming was not of the celebratory kind that usually accompanies a lively band on a joyous day. It was a troubling beat, a dark harbinger of an upcoming savage and inevitable clash. This phantom rhythm didn't merely ring in their ears, it echoed in their very souls, a chilling reminder of the impending spectre of death that constantly loomed over them like a malevolent phantom. A sound that meandered like a lullaby that danced high into the starlit sky, growing louder, more persistent, instilling a freezing fear that could stiffen even the bravest soldier's spine with dread. This spectral beat haunted the dreams of those who dared to steal a few moments of respite and sleep. This terrifying rhythm would swell into a deafening uproar before suddenly plunging into silence, reverting the battlefield back to a stillness that was more unnerving than the drumming itself. The phantom echoes would instill a profound fear in the soldiers, their hearts pounding a daunting symphony to the phantom drum. Their breath would hitch in their throats, senses heightened as they strained to hear the spectral rhythm that seemed to permeate the very atmosphere, their eyes struggling to see through the pitch-black darkness. Guided only by the trembling light of their torches, they would frantically search for the source of the haunting sound, holding their breath in a mix of terror and anticipation. But each time their hope would crumble into despair as their desperate search only revealed the desolate battlefield, the emptiness of the landscape magnifying the darkness of the night and the terror that gripped every heart. The ethereal drummer boy, they were certain, was not just an illusion or a product of their fatigued minds, but the unsettled spirit of a fallen soldier. His phantom drum was not an instrument, it was a chilling reminder of the relentless march of war. The haunted drumbeat, they believed, was the lost soldier's way of communicating with them, a stark warning of their impending disaster, a harsh wake-up call that they were ensnared in the unforgiving grasp of an unending war. This story was not just some spooky ghost tale, a product of an overly imaginative mind. It was a grave warning, a horrifying narrative woven into the very fabric of their existence. It was a grim serenade, a haunting nocturne sung by Death himself, imbued with the bitter taste of mortality. The phantom drummer boy was a stark reminder of the sacrifices they had made, of the lives they had given up, and of the suffering they continued to endure. It was a story that reflected the harsh reality of war, a brutal, inescapable dance with death that held their existence in its remorseless grip. This horrifying tale was whispered in hushed, terrified voices around the campfire, the words carrying the burden of the reality they faced, causing even the bravest hearts to quiver with fear. It was a story that would continue echo throughout history, a bitter testament to the gruesome reality of war and the human sacrifices it required. A tale all the more terrifying due to its reflection of reality. Soldiers lost to a war that showed no signs of wavering, their souls potentially forever trapped in its savage dance. The spectral drummer boy was a bleak reminder of the sacrifices they had made, of the lives they had relinquished, and of the torment they continued to endure. It was a story that mirrored the brutal reality of war, a ruthless, unrelenting dance of death that held their existence in its pitiless grasp. It was a story they knew that would continue to reverberate through the centuries, a bitter testament to the unending horrors of war. Some believe it was the spirit of a fallen boy soldier, his essence eternally tied to the battlefield, his spectral drum a chilling reminder of the war's relentless march. Journey with me now to the year of 1815, into the macabre aftermath of the bloody Battle of Waterloo. A landscape of devastation and despair unfurls before your eyes. Broken men, shattered lives, and soil so saturated with the blood of the fallen that it seems to pulse with a life of its own. The ominous shadow of war lingers, a grotesque spectre in the memory, an abhorrent reminder of the unspeakable carnage that unfolded on this grisly battlefield. But it's far more than just the memory of war that plagues the haunted souls. It is the terrorizing presence of a spectral figure, a ghastly apparition known only as the Headless Horseman. The trembling whispers of the local populace speak of this headless spectre, a tormented soul forever cursed to ride in the blackest depths of the night. This bone-chilling figure, decapitated, his head nowhere to be found, serves as a gruesome testament to the savagery of war. This ghostly rider is not merely a figment of terror-stricken minds. The townsfolk have reported sightings, their accounts shared in hushed, fearful whispers beneath the flickering glow of candlelight. They speak of a spectral presence that slices through the inky stillness of night, a figure as chilling as the horrors that birthed him. His gut-wrenching gallop, they say, reverberates through the silent night, an eerie symphony of the lives abruptly snuffed out. The brave souls who have reportedly laid eyes on him speak of a petrifying chill that descends upon them, a cold so deep it seems to freeze their very souls. The moon hides behind a shroud of foreboding clouds. The stars dim their light, as if to cower from this spectral entity's horrifying ride. The wind, now an agent of terror, whispers tales of dread and carries with it the phantom echoes of his hellish gallop, a macabre lullaby to the fallen. This spectral figure, the Headless Horseman, is not just a creature born from the nightmares of war. He's a symbol, a grisly reminder of the horrifying cost of conflict, of the rivers of blood spilled in the name of power. He is the embodiment, the screams of the fallen, their lives snuffed out in a horrifying instant, their existence now just spectral echoes in the minds of the survivors. Scholars, folklorists and ghost story enthusiasts have toiled tirelessly in their attempts to unearth the truth behind this phantom rider. They've pored over dusty records, examined old tales, and carefully listened to the tremulous whispers of the past. Yet, despite their efforts, the horseman remains an enigma, his true identity swallowed by the gaping maw of time. Yet his harrowing presence persists, his tale a horrifying testament to the anguish that war inflicts. Over the centuries, these tales have been passed down, the legend of the Headless Horseman growing more terrifying with each retelling. Each generation is cursed to bear witness to his spectral ride, his message of terror remaining unaltered through the passage of time. He is the embodiment of the atrocities of war, of lives abruptly ended and dreams irrevocably shattered. And yet, within these horrifying tales, a glimmer of hope persists. Despite his gruesome visage, the horseman serves as a stark reminder, a chilling reminder of what we stand to lose in the raging inferno of conflict, of the untold agony that warfare inflicts upon the innocent. Thus, we find ourselves thrust back into that ominous year, the year 1815, in the chilling aftermath of the Battle of Waterloo. Sightings of this nightmarish entity have been reported over the centuries, his ghostly gallop reverberating through the silent night, a haunting echo of the lives violently snuffed out. Delving into the shadows of the year 1941, a time when the world was engulfed in the horrors of World War II, a spectral entity known as the White Lady is said to materialize amongst the ruins. This dreadful year brought forth a chilling tale as eerie as it was heartrending, whispered with trembling voices among the traumatized remnants of that era. At the epicenter of the conflict, amidst the ceaseless bombardment and the pervasive dread, emerged the spectral figure of the White Lady. She was not your typical soldier, nor your ordinary phantom. Among the pandemonium of war and destruction, she stood as a haunting reminder of the resilience of the human spirit, a chilling testament to courage in the face of despair. Legend speaks of the White Lady as once having been a flesh-and-blood woman. A nurse, she was a lone glimmer of hope in the bleakest hours of the war. Her existence was devoted to healing the wounded, tending to the dying, and consoling the desolate. Amid the fallen soldiers, she moved like an ethereal presence, her white nurse's uniform a stark contrast against the backdrop of devastation and chaos that characterized World War II. In the vortex of the war, disaster struck. During a merciless bombing raid, the nurse met her untimely demise. Her sacrifice was not on the battlefield as many soldiers were. It was in the relentless pursuit of her noble profession, in the endeavor to save lives even as death rained down around her. In the wake of her death, a chilling phenomenon unfolded. Soldiers and survivors began reporting sightings of a spectral being, a ghostly figure clad in a white uniform. They claimed it was the nurse, her spirit trapped in unrest. She was spotted wandering through the war-ravaged ruins and along the rubble-littered streets, the memory of her sacrifice looming ominously in the minds of those who witnessed her. And thus, White Lady was born. She became an eerie constant in the war's narrative, her story spreading like a chilling wind among the ranks. Some recoiled in fear, seeing in her restless spirit a disturbing omen of their impending doom. Others took solace in her ghostly presence, viewing her as a symbol of the resilience of the human spirit, a testament to the sacrifices made amidst unimaginable horrors. Over the years, tales of the White Lady multiplied. Some spoke of an icy sensation as she passed, a spectral reminder of the icy hand of death. Others claimed a peaceful feeling, an eerie calm amid the surrounding chaos. Despite the myriad of encounters, there remained a single unchanging fact. The White Lady was always seen in her white nurse's uniform, her appearance as constant as the haunting memory of her sacrifice. Across the decades, the White Lady has remained a chilling symbol of World War II. She embodies the bravery and the sacrifices made by those who fought and perished, their stories forever etched in the annals of history. Her spectral existence serves as a continuous and haunting reminder of the devastating horrors of war and the extraordinary capacity of humans for resilience and sacrifice. Her ghost, adorned in a white nurse's uniform, is often seen wandering without purpose, her spectral form a chilling symbol of the selfless sacrifices made during the war. In the twisted annals of time, the year 1975 drags us into the nightmarish landscape of the possessed jungles of Vietnam. The world was swallowed by the storm of upheaval, yet the epicenter of this pandemonium was the grotesquely verdant expanse of Vietnam, which has since become a terrarium of terror and the supernatural. These aren't your run-of-the-mill jungles, but grotesque topographies painted with the blood-curdling horrors of warfare, chilling bloodshed, and loss so vast it beggars belief. It's as if the very foliage bleeds the torment of those violent times, each rustle and whisper of the leaves echoing the fading screams of the fallen, the deafening retort of gunfire, and the paralyzing silence that ensued. Among the spectral inhabitants of this jungle, harbouring relics of a bygone era, lurks a terrifying phantasm. A spectral platoon emerges, marching in an uncanny cadence, their movements defined not by the sound of boots on ground, but an unsettling, icy silence. Time seems to freeze as these menacing figures spontaneously apparate and vanish, their existence fleeting as the flicker of a waning candle. These phantom soldiers, dwellers of the ethereal realm, are purported to be the restless spirits of those who fell during the Vietnam War. The loss was not just their own, but shared by their nation and the whole of mankind. Just like us, these brave men nurtured families, dreams and aspirations, abruptly snuffed out by the monstrous machine of war. To witness these phantom warriors is to be confronted with the stories, dreams and lives that were consumed by the war. Each represents a tale of shattered hopes, of dreams pulverized and lives brutally cut short. Their spectral forms serve as a horrifying reminder of the human toll of war, the lives that will never be lived, and the dreams that will forever remain unfulfilled. These wraith-like figures are mere echoes of their former selves, their physicality substituted by a ghoulish form, their voices replaced by the frightening silence of the jungle, their lives supplanted by an eternal march under the forbidding jungle canopy. Yet, despite their spectral existence, they continue to narrate their chilling stories in a manner that defies human comprehension. Their ghastly march, a shuddering homage to the savagery of war, is not merely a spectacle for those unlucky enough to witness it. It is also a lesson, a stark admonition of the brutal realities of conflict and the transience of life. Their march is not one of triumph or defeat, but rather a dirge-like procession reflecting the unspeakable atrocities these valiant souls endured. The spectral platoon relentlessly marches on, their ghostly figures flickering unpredictably in and out of the dense jungle undergrowth. Their existence is a paradox, trapped in a continuous replay of their final moments. Yet their presence is as palpable as the tangible physical world around us. They stand as a horrifying testament to the bravery of those who fought and died, a chilling echo of the cost of war, and starkly a beacon of the unyielding human spirit that persists even when faced with adversity and death. In the end, these phantom soldiers are thought to be the spirits of those who fell during the Vietnam War, their ghostly march a horrifying testament to the savageries of war. They continue this eternal march not merely as a bone-chilling reminder of the past, but also as an eerie harbinger of the future. We must remember, learn and strive for a world where such horrifying spectres of war no longer cast their long shadow over our present or future. Their march is a ghastly reminder of the horrors of war, and a call to yearn for peace. Their spectral march is a gruesome testament to the savagery of war, a chilling reminder of the past, and a stark forewarning for the future. As such, their ghostly footfall in the supernatural jungles of Vietnam isn't merely a tale of the spectral, but a haunting dirge of the human condition, of loss, despair, and the ceaseless yearning for peace. Their ghostly march is a terrifying testament to the horrors of war. These tales, chilling as they are, serve as a grim reminder of the lasting impact of war. The battlefields may change, the soldiers may pass on, but the echoes of their struggles, their sacrifices, and their untimely deaths linger on. War, in all its horror, leaves a spectral imprint, a ghostly reminder of the lives lost and the horrors endured. The ghosts of war remind us of the chilling aftermath of battle. They serve as spectral symbols of the horrors of war and its lasting impact. As we remember these tales, we reflect on the chilling realities of war and the haunting echoes it leaves behind. The ghosts of war, forever bound to the battlefields, serve as a grim reminder that the echoes of war can indeed haunt the winds, and the spirits of fallen soldiers can indeed wander the battlefields where their lives were abruptly ended. Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey through the ghosts of war. It's been a haunting exploration of the spectral side of history, one that reminds us of the eternal echoes of conflict. We invite you to subscribe to our channel for more spine-chilling tales from the darkest corners of our past. If this spectral journey has sent shivers down your spine, give this video a like. It's your support that keeps these terrifying tales alive. We would also love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever experienced a ghostly encounter? Or perhaps there's a tale of terror you'd like us to explore in a future video. We're always eager to delve into the mysteries you suggest. Remember, these ghastly narratives serve as a reminder of the toll that war exacts, not just in the tangible realm, but in the spectral one as well. So until we meet again in our next terrifying tale, keep the lights on and never forget the ghosts of war. They're a reminder of the past that continues to haunt the present. Stay tuned for more terrifying tales. Until then, keep the lights on.